Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Blackfaun. This is the demo version 6.5, and so I saw this game at PAX East. Oh shoot, the sound is pretty high. I would not be surprised by that. Let's get that cranked down. Okay, so saw it at PAX East, and it looked interesting. It's a roguelike. It's a Diablo-style roguelike, from what I've heard. And I wanted to give it a go. So, let's try it live, get our first impressions, and cross our fingers that it is good. They told me it was a cross between Diablo and Binding of Isaac. So my hope is it's good. And so the entire point is there's actually supposed to be like a plot. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. Okay, so it looks like, oh boy, the resolution on this is atrocious. Let's see, so we've got keys, gold, candles, start ring, experience. I honestly can't even read 90% of this stuff. Offhand cooldown meter, yada yada, options, inventory, temporary health meter, offhand push attack. Okay, so let's just get out of here. So it looks like it's a can I return to game? Can I hide this? Can I? Oh, I see. We have to like go out the door for this to go away. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it controls very similar to the. Oh wow, the character does not turn on a dime properly. So it actually kind of reminds me of Spiral Knights in a lot of ways. Can I open? There we go. Oh boy, you guys are horrifying looking. Ow! I'm already dead. Wow, that was fast. Well, that was not encouraging. Yeah, actually, you know what? It plays, like, even more than, Spiral Knights. It actually plays very similarly to, Force 2 The Rush. Okay, so this case, let's see. So I've got, like, a knockback move, and I've got, like, shots. Now, first things first, I have, like, no health, and can get my ass kicked by everything. Interesting. I get like a slow-mo mode. Oh, and apparently I'm shiny now for some reason. Okay, so we've got some enemies all over the place. These guys can murder me. I like the fact that I can see their health bar, because otherwise I'd be super confused and probably spending all my time in fear. Okay, so I'm picking up all sorts of random junk. No idea. Okay, so mana and everything. Okay. Yeah, I would say this feels very similar in a lot of ways, at the very least, to Force the Rush. Can I go in my inventory and see what I got? The answer is I'm level 2 apparently, plus 20 max health, plus 10 base damage. Alright, that's pretty basic. Unfortunately in the game, you can't press escape to close menu screens, which is interesting. Now we've got a little mini map with our character's face as the icon, which is honestly pretty static, or pretty standard for, I'm not going to say the industry per se, but it feels very generic as a result. Oh wait, no, that's the thing following me around. I don't know if that's like my little buddy crystal or like what it's supposed to be, but it terrifies me when I see it coming because I don't recognize it yet. Oh, don't even want to touch that. I don't even know what this business is. So I'd like to take out these totems. There we go. Bust it up and keep going. Okay. So it plays fairly similarly to Force 2 The Rush, and stuff like that. It's got a lot of like base things to, I don't know, keep in mind. It does have it also does have kind of a forced feel in terms of, like, the camera angle and stuff like that. It's a little high for my taste. I wish it was a little bit lower. A little bit more, maybe third-person-y. Kind of hard to tell. I think I just picked up somebody's, like, lung and or kidneys. It's hard to tell. We've got a key, and we've got more lungs and or kidneys. Hard to tell. Oh, branch. No special ability. Basic lantern. Push. Uses 1 mana. Alright, makes sense. So, thus far, impressions seem, alright, not bad. I've yet to determine exactly what makes it a roguelike apart from permadeath and some level of, like, random generation. I'm interested in seeing, like, what kind of pickups you can get in this game. You can switch the map around. It does look like it's going with the procedurally generated Death Labyrinth route, which I can't complain about too much. I do like the fact that you can, like, explore around, but the levels do feel a little bit repetitive. As in, just various square rooms filled with these guys. But that may or may not... Oh, Okay, they hurt. The little goblins with swords move fast. Did not even realize. Okay. But like I've yet to find any like actual useful loot given the situation. It's mostly just bluish lung things. Don't even know. Wait, was it? Oh, where'd you come from? So I had like my crystal thing was like highlighting a rock earlier, and it seems to have left? I don't even know. But I'm hoping I can find some kind of equipment here or like a power-up or something. Because it does feel a little bit on the like, here's gameplay, you just run around and shoot at things. Then again, this is very early alpha and or beta, hard to tell. They really have not... I have never heard of this game before. Like, I've never even seen anybody talk about it, not on Twitter, not on anywhere. So I've been really meaning to... I don't know, find more games like this. That's part of the reason why I wanted to even go to PAX. Can I pick up these guys' staves? They're all sparkly and shit. I kind of wanted them. Oh, well, no such luck. But it does seem like, yeah, like I'm picking up gold shit and something. And I level up, deuces. I leveled up. Don't know what that does. See? What is it? What is this thing? Is that somebody's lung? I just picked up somebody's lung. Alright, and we've got locked... Hey, I got a key. So we actually found a treasure chest. Maybe it'll actually change things up. No clue. So we got Branch versus Dread's Hand. So, serious through impurities, living or no. So this will actually reduce my power, increase my willpower. How do I... Okay, so we got this now. So here's the thing. It's got negative 31 power, high willpower, finesse. I'm going to actually stick with my... No, I'm not going to stick with my branch. I keep wasting those for no good reason. I'm going to go with this. Why? For better or worse, mainly. I'd love to go with a weapon that I don't already start with, whether or not it's good. Plus, we have no idea what willpower does. Maybe it's something good. I also apparently have gold for a merchant, and we might have just found our first boss with a weapon that potentially will be actually worse. Hello. And apparently there's a plot, they're talking, and they automatically cycle text. So, apparently this dude is her brother, and he's insulting her or some shit. It's hard to tell. The text is very low res and honestly very tiny, and also transparent. And it looks like Dickbag over here just summoned a boss for us. And it is a freaky-ass looking bug. Alright, well, let's fight the Vileweed Monarch. Okay, it looks like it's... oh, it's laying traps for us. That, they do, like, 6 of our health. That's great. She's hiding inside a goddamn... She's... So, fun fact about the new weapon we've got. As far as I can tell, it doesn't do shit for damage. Can I hit with this thing? Is it... No. Alright. Oh, no, I hit it once. So I have to be just quite directly next to the... next to an enemy to even hit them with this thing. That is so good. Not even fun. Yeah, nope. Should not have picked this one up. That's for certain. That is a shame, though. Okay, so let's try that again. One last time. I'll probably come back to this, especially as the game develops. I'll probably ask them to see if I can get a live copy. You know, to like a more live version as opposed to the demo, which will get quickly outdated. Because I want to see where this game goes. The overall gameplay ain't bad. But without like a level of like randomization power-ups and stuff like that, it's really just going to feel like a twin-stick shooter without the twin sticks. Which... I mean, isn't a bad thing. Like, oh, shoot. They've got homing arrows of the sort. I don't even know. Yeah, they come straight at me. That's a problem. Wolves. Bad touch, bad touch, bad touch. At least I'm not taking too much damage here. Maybe those lung things are, like, health. Yep, gotta get out of there. And that is my little floaty pixie orb thing. Yeah. So why did I pick up that other weapon? It was completely worthless for me. Oh well, not the end of the world. But like without a level of like randomization, loot and whatnot. Oh, that's a trap. Duh. Kind of hard to tell what exactly was going on with that item. Turns out trap on the ground. Duh. Okay. those archers apparently summon little spirit doggies, which is adorable, except for the fact that you know they're coming from a feet. So let's pick up more lungs, and let's see. Yeah. It's not terrible. Now the question is, are there any other classes in this game? And the answer is, there are. Is, sort of. Hello, merchant. So we can buy keys. Great! Totally useful. I thought that was like supposed to be some kind of weird event boss or something. But there are two classes in this game. The guy that popped up and summoned the boss is the other character you can play as. Currently, you can't play as him. He will be available with the like final release of the game, but that's it. So I'm not entirely sure if he's going to change gameplay at all. Kind of hope he has like a melee weapon instead, so it's not pure twin-stick shooter. But I can't promise anything. I hope it's at least somewhat different from what I'm doing with this character, because it'd be kind of a shame otherwise. This feels actually, I'm not going to say it feels like a top-down version of Ziggurat. But Ziggurat does have like that kind of, I don't know, just, I'm not going to say like Rudy Tooty gun and shooty type feel. But it does have the, like, you just shoot a projectile and very little actually modifies what you're doing. Which is kind of a shame. Oh well. Hey, I got a candle. No idea what that does. But like, I'd love to be able to beat a boss. Picked up a heart. Oh, you know what? Those lungs are probably temporary hit points. If anything, that would make the most amount of sense. Now here's the question. That's probably from a totem. Here's the question. So if you haven't killed anything on the floor, everything on the floor, can you still go out the door? Yeah, okay, so you can actually just blitz through the entire game if you really want to. That's not a terrible idea, actually. Because, I mean, there's... Oh, no, there is a leveling system. I forgot about that. So, actually, it is in your best interest to kill everything. So I should probably go back for that totem. Because, yeah, I'm wrecking through these guys a hell of a lot easier than I was earlier. So, it might actually be best to just go back and... Might be best to go back and... kill that totem, of course. It might actually be best to go back and clear through every single room before fighting the boss. Which makes sense. That's exactly how you do it in Ziggurat, just for experience and stuff. I actually... So, I complain about this from time to time. And, like, for Vagante, I say, you know... I wish the experience system meant something apart from kill the boss level up anyway. At the same time, I can actually recognize, to at least a small degree, that it's actually better to have no experience system at all, Binding of Isaac style, where in having no experience and only power-ups, you can skip whole levels if you want to go faster. Whereas in this, it's almost, well, it is absolutely imperative to do so, because otherwise you just end up in a situation where you're under-leveled. It does look like the enemies will follow you through doors, at least to some degree, though. But I don't remember him being in here. Either way. I kind of wish I knew what this did. Oh, whoa. Interesting. Huh. Oh. I did do it. Whoops. Don't actually know what that does. So, apparently I buffed up... Oh. Okay, so there's actually a leveling system in this game. Which I've already said, but apparently you actually get stat points. It does not exactly tell you that one right off the bat. But every time you level, you get quote-unquote... well, you get points that you can feed into your stats. Hello, you guys are new. I don't remember. Does look like it do a fair amount of damage, though. Alright, so let's get that into Vitality. I want to look at my inventory, not my inventory for a second. I want to look at this. Oh, deuces. So by buffing up my Vitality, I increase my Vigor, area of effect of my primary attack, resistance to physical damage, and overall damage by 5%. Okay. Willpower increases base damage by 15%, resistance magic, and range of my projectiles. Okay. Agility, speed and agility, fire rate, critical chance, move speed, and chance of critting. Alright, that's actually kind of cool. I like that. I really wish it was a little bit more obvious, like if it actually had a number in the center of the circle. But it's... Oh, that's the boss. So in that case, let's go deal with that in a little bit. Let's go clear the rest of this floor. But it does look like leveling is actually very worthwhile, and it almost looks like putting points into willpower is the best way to do it. Willpower and maybe agility. Hard to tell. But I like it from... I like a lot of this from a conceptual level of, like, this would be a great tech demo. But if somebody came to me saying, like, here's my game, I'd say, please add more. And, like, I feel like asking for more is a cheap way of doing things. But, like, the enemies aren't bad. They've got, like, some interesting patterns and stuff. The levels, for the most part, aren't terribly worrying. It's mostly just like, alright, avoid these things, avoid these things. The bosses are kind of weird, but I think I had a bad experience, purely because, well, I didn't have a weapon that could hit anything. I do wish that was a little clearer, that, like, that weapon was awful, and I'm not entirely sure why it would be, like, it was so bad. But having, like, a weapon for a twin-stick shooter type game that just simply can't shoot past X point generally means, you know, might be worth rethinking things. I don't know. Let's see what this one does. Okay, Shadow Guide. Reduces enemy detection range. And it's all sorts of stuff. Alright, let's grab it. So is that just going... Okay, so that's my armor. Oh, and it actually shows up on my character. Alright, that's a huge plus, actually. It is rare that, it's rare to play a game, at least as far as I'm concerned, where they actually put forward the effort to model custom armor that you can put on your characters. I like that. That's a nice touch. But, yeah, no, this is absolutely a twin-stick game. Not necessarily like full twin stick. Yeah, wow, getting that armor actually does help a lot. It does really feel like it's got a lot of the Diablo, you know, randomly generated loot, you know, items in your inventory, that kind of business. Now the one thing I will say against this game being a twin stick shooter, specifically, we're talking about sticks here, is it is so much easier to aim with a mouse. Because I can just point at enemies and they die. Which, you know, definitely does kind of imply a good reason for, well, you know, point and click, given the situation. Don't have any more spirit wolves. Looks like we're good. Okay, we've almost got a full bar of temporary hit points, as well as full hit points, so we got that going for us. Let's go beat up the boss, and take a quick drink of water as we go, because I am getting hoarse. I was trying to figure out how to factor that into a deer joke. Did not work. Hey, extra key. Now, we've got 15 coins. Let's see what I can buy from this guy. It looks like he's got this, whatever this is. Oh, it's a candle. Yeah, let's grab one of those. We got 2 keys. 2 keys, 2 candles, and 10 coins. No idea what the candles do, but, we'll figure it out. So, off we go. Overall, basic impressions of this game. Seeing as we're fairly into it, hopefully we get to beat the boss so I can get to see what level 2 is. But overall impressions are, it's not bad. But if they're ever going to utter the words Binding of Isaac and Diablo together, they're going to need to... Oh, hey, you can quickly skip through the dialogue by just rapidly tapping on that. Now, are we fighting the same lady? We are fighting the same lady. Alright, grudge match. If they're going to utter either of those games in combination... Oh, this is going to be so much easier. The sheer fact that I can fight in the range. It does have some bullet hell elements to it, that's for certain. I do kind of wish that these would clear out after a certain point, like disappear, but it looks like they actually just cover the entire level. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. But, yeah, if you're going to mention Diablo and Binding of Isaac in the same sentence, you better kind of back it up a little bit, and I think this one's kind of like a third of the way there, if even. I think if I was going to mention Diablo, you're going to need more interesting equipment, and a lot more of it. And if you're going to mention Binding of Isaac, well, you're going to need a lot of stuff. Either way. Yeah, no, it's not bad. And I always say that. But I do feel like this game has potential in interesting places. Wow! Actually, having 44 dexterity is increasing my attack speed by 65%. That's really solid. That said, it looks like willpower is probably the best. Oh, interesting. So this increases my piercing chance by 5%, so I can actually have my shots pierce through enemies. But it looks like just pouring points into intelligence is still the way to go as far as doing boatloads of damage. Agility and that. Vitality, I'm not entirely sure what... Hello. Willpower, if it works for me. This looks like it's got a decent range. Let's go on to level 2. Go to next level. That needs a new button. Either way, yeah, no, it needs, like, lots of items. Why is it even showing me this? I've already done this. Ha! Oh, that like, weird thing is my like, crystal guide creature. I really hope this game gets voice acted, maybe? Just because having that talk in the corner does feel like it's going to get kind of, well, I mean, just having the, like, all of the dialogue happen quickly in the corner of the screen is going to get very frustrating, but at the same time, if you're going to have a roguelike, generally I would recommend against having dialogue, period. It does not seem horribly useful to your game being good. That said, if it's super important, I'd say have the story randomized somehow, and work with the roguelike format, as opposed to just be like, well, it's going to have a story, and be a roguelike. It doesn't go hand in hand. Roguelikes are baseline repeatable, unless... like, they have to be constantly repeatable, unless you have it be kind of like Rogue Legacy, where the story is like, well, you're going into this infinite dungeon over and over and over again, and the story progresses at certain points, even though it's not much of a story. That would actually be the best way of handling a story in a roguelike. Because, like, as it stands, I think if we play this another time, let's go in here, see if the shop has anything different. It does. Hello. I just bought a thing. I don't even know what I bought. I can't even tell. Oh, that's like a wand thing, and that's more temporary health. Okay, so I bought a thingy. What's this thingy? Increases agility and movement speed. Hey, works for me. I accidentally bought something really good. I'm also moving really fast right now, but seeing as it's, kind of basic WASD movement, I've got a fair amount of control here. I'd love to be able to buff up my wisdom a lot. Speaking of, let's just keep buffing up our damage, because we don't really care about piercing shots. Most of the time, enemies don't line up in particularly useful ways. I don't want to put any points into agility, because I'm going to be moving too fast along the lines, and I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm just going to be like, alright, I'm on the other side of the screen. Seriously, this is level 2, and I'm already moving, like, super freaking fast. It's ridiculous, but I'm kind of okay with it. We also one-hit dogs. Now, things that what I want, given the current situation, wouldn't mind a second right-click item, seeing as the use items seem kind of important for gameplay. But I'd also really enjoy a weapon that does more than just kind of a projectile attack. Like, I'd love to see different attack styles in this game. And so we saw that with the one wand that I picked up that I kind of hated. It was just like, alright, this is a very short-range thingamabob that I have no idea what it does. Or, like, I have no idea why this would ever be considered worth it. But, like, it would be cool if you could get, like, a melee weapon, like an axe, that you'd swing in front of you or something, and you could do, like, combos with right-click, left-click. They're not going to do that, obviously, but still. Yeah, they're not going to do that because, well, as it stands, I've got right-click, my use item is right-click. I don't know, it's, if they could have different weapons, like, short range, long range, but, like, actually have tangible benefits for going short range, like, I don't know, really kicks enemies back or something like that. Like, hell, there are plenty of top-down shooters that have all sorts of weaponry in it, and I hope it just becomes more than just, like, I shot little projectile thing and go from there. Now, is everything dead in here? Nope, it's not. Got a bunch of lurker goblins. But, like, as it stands, I am definitely schooling my way through this, so, I mean, I guess I could see the story thing where, like, each progressive run also progresses the story in a way. That kind of makes sense. Not gonna happen, though. Hello. What do you got for me? Let's see. Mana glow when killing an enemy, so this boosts my intelligence by 10. And my focus by 49. I don't actually remember what focus does. Also in my finesse, but it does kind of knock down my mobility by a fair amount. Let's do it. It gives us more damage, and I really don't need to move faster. Really don't need to. Give or take. People are waiting for me to mention dodge roll. Actually, I would say this is one of the few games... I mean, it could maybe do okay with the dodge roll, but I don't really think it needs it. I think it is too twin sticky, and having a dodge roll in this game would actually screw you up. So say if I, like, point this direction and roll, like, how do you determine which direction you roll? I guess if you press the dodge roll button and then the direction you want to roll in, but I think the control scheme for this game would be too indistinct for a dodge roll to work right. And I think that would be a problem. So as it stands, not gonna... I don't think it's a good plan to include anything like dodge roll in this game. An active block system could work. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know. I guess the only other game that plays fairly similarly to this, apart from Force, and Force doesn't have a dodge roll, would be Spiral Knights. That did actually sort of have a dodge roll, but it didn't do anything. And it did have, like, a block and stuff. But still... No, I don't know. Like, the basic formula of this game works well. I just really hope they add more content to it to keep players interested, because as it stands, like, I'm mostly just getting slightly better upgrades to what I already have. And, like, obviously it's showing up on my character, which I approve of greatly. But, like, the enemies haven't changed. Hopefully they add more of those. The level layout hasn't changed at all. There's no traps, there's no, like, interest. Like, Runers plays very similarly to this, actually. Oh, where it's, you know, just a series of rooms, multiple rooms on every level filled with enemies. Burn through them, collect upgrades, yada yada yada. Admittedly, Runers did not have a comprehensive item system, it just had spell crafting. But it had so many spells, it was good. So in this case, actually, you know what? Hell, if this game had a Runers style of shooting system, I think I would be an absolutely happy camper. You know, if you can do weird spell effects that combine with... Wow, yeah. If this game was Runers, or at least if Runers looked like this game, I think it would just actually be one of the better games I've ever played ever. I know I said ever twice, that's because it needs saying. Anyway, I think that is exactly the point to make here. That, like, the randomized gear system is nice, but it's never going to actually randomize gameplay that much, because you're completely reliant on the stat system. And since the stats are so standard, you know, just damage boosting, movement speed, strike through, stuff like that, which totally works, but without some level of, like, variance in actual gameplay, it's never going to feel like anything more than just, like, run around shooting enemies. Rudy Tooty Gun and Shooty, I think, would be the proper summative noise that summative line I can give. I don't even know if that's even a right word. I don't know. Who cares? Everybody gets what I mean. But yeah, no, seriously, if this game had Runer-style mechanics, count me in. Or, like, I mean, honestly, if I could, like, gain the ability to charge up Death Laser, you know, count me in. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe they even have that in the game, and RNG just has not blessed me with any items from it. Which is entirely possible. Or Spread Shot, or Charge Up Rapid Shot, or, like, a bomb that I roll at enemies, for crying out loud. Seriously, if I get anything that would actually make it so my attacks do something else apart from this, I think I'd be happy. Because I think that would make a huge difference in terms of gameplay. And help out substantially. So, I'm crossing my fingers that we find that along the way. Because if we can, we're all good. If I can't, not so much so. Hard to tell. I'm hoping. Because, you know what? I said this, I've said this in many videos. I'm always rooting for the developer. If a game's not good, I just generally don't review it just because I can't deal with it. And in this case, it functions well. No bugs, no crashes, no clipping issues. I'm just going to skip the plot because I don't really care. I might care, we'll see, but I'm more interested in just getting farther, and I don't want to spend my time trying to read things. Ram Rider Genesis. Oh, it's Dwarf. Can I play as that guy? He looks interesting. Okay, what is he doing? No, he's leaving hoof tracks on the ground. I wonder if they burn you. Nope, they don't. Okay. They shine for some reason, which concerns me, but I mean, he's almost dead already, so it's not like I have much to worry about. He has like a retaliatory strike or a shield, kind of hard to tell. Either way, I'm kicking the tar out of him, and he is dead. I have not gotten hit this entire floor. Anyway, can I have his sword? That'd be awesome. Okay, so, oh, hey. So I've got my lantern that knocks people back. Now I've got a shield, which makes me invincible for a very short period of time. Alright, works for me. And let's get out of here. Go to next level. So, overall, impressions of Blackfaun, it's not bad. I really am rooting for it just in terms of, like, it could be good. So let's finish this run. So at this point, we've got a shield, which I was actually talking about earlier. We've got the wand thing. You know what? You know what this game could also use? Just like an ability system, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of force the rush style. I think I'd be okay with that. Because this game does play very similarly to that, but I mean, it's purely just like spam shots at enemies. Let them die, because like at this point, as long as I'm focused on avoidance, it does not actually like provide much of a challenge here, which I'm kind of okay with. Sometimes it's nice to play like nice and relaxing, but at the same time, it's not going to be as enthralling to try and be like the very best at well, Vagante or Binding of Isaac or anything like that. Well, I'll probably keep playing it as it develops, just because I want to know if it's good or not. Let's see. Yeah, the only reason why I'm not rushing the boss here is purely because the leveling system is kind of important, and I'm also crossing my fingers that I can find more items along the way. Now, the moment I find an item room, then I'm actually going to rush the boss. So in this case, there's actually no reason for me to be here apart from experience. How much experience do I gain from killing these guys at this point? Oh, that's unfortunate. Looks like there's a diminishing return on leveling after a certain point, because I'm barely... I'm getting some amount from these guys. But it's definitely not as much. Which I guess is kind of to prevent you from getting totally overpowered. Because what it does look like is this game does not actually scale the enemies up very well. So for example, I'm actually one-shotting most things. That seems like a weird design choice. But I don't even know. And also, I have these candle things. Hell if I know what they do. Can I use them? Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, I'm just going to keep piling points into my intelligence just because it does damage. Also, interestingly, you actually have to actively click on the gate to be able to get through. You can't, like, just shoot past it to get through. Which is kind of a shame, considering you're effectively doing the same thing. Okay, so it didn't just immediately... Oh, hey, I'm actually taking damage here. Now, the one thing is, as far as, like, difficulty goes, obviously, if you can't get the adequate weapons and equipment, you're going to have a much harder time with it. Right now, I'm actually getting hammered a little bit. Which is mostly my fault for just kind of ramboing in left and right. But, like, the one difficulty thing that does actually sort of serve as a plus, in a way, is the fact that you have very little health at all times. This game is very unforgiving as far as damage goes. You do get a fair amount of health, so it's not like Vagante style where you're just constantly trying to stay alive. But, if you notice, I had a full bar of temporary HP for a little while. You know what? I forgot. You can kill these things. But, let's see. But, so, temporary hit points go away fast, and health probably goes equally fast. Maybe if I actually bother to level up my vigor at all, but at the same time, I'm not trying to die here, but I'm definitely trying to... Wow, yeah, we just burned through the giant hulking goblin. Too, this is trivial in a lot of ways. I'm really hoping I can find that that item chest soon, just because I'm really, really hoping I can come across an item that actively changes how I play, apart from just changing how much range I've got. And maybe attack speed. Like, if it goes beyond just the basic, like, shoot faster, do more damage, shot range, you know, shot speed, that kind of thing. If it'll, like, if I can find Brimstone, I'd be happy. Honestly, if this game featured a deal with the devil type system, I'd be really happy too. But no idea if I'm going to or not. Anyway, found the item room. Also, it looks like the levels get a lot larger the further you go in. Which, better or worse, don't know. Don't really have an accurate assessment as far as that goes. Okay, so let's level up our intelligence more, just because damage is important, and or just murdering people. Actually, we're probably getting to the point where I should stop putting points into intelligence and just pour them all straight into. Oh, hey, I'm losing all of my temporary hit points. It is being a little bit less generous as far as those drops, but I'm also taking a little bit more damage because what this game seems to be doing, instead of increasing the true challenge of the game, which is, you know, enemy damage, different enemy types, different enemy attack patterns, stuff like that, what it seems to be doing instead is just sending more and more at me. Which, again, not actually that bad. not that big of a deal. But it does feel a little bit cheap along the way. Because it's just been dumping enemies on me. Okay, what do we got? Please give me something. Ball lightning. Sure, why not? I want to see what this does, and I'm not using that block nearly as much as I should. So, let's keep going. Wow, this is much larger level. I do have to say, like, the game is pretty. Like, it's got the fall theme down substantially. That said, you know, that means very little. But still. Alright, ball lightning, what do you do? Oh, hey, it's actually a melee move. Surprising. You mean ball lightning is effectively just my push spell from the beginning of the game? It doesn't actually fire a ball of lightning, it's just like a lightning-themed push? That is incredibly disappointing. I was expecting something that would, like, bounce between enemies and stuff and do all sorts of weird business. No such luck, though. That makes me sad. Because, yeah, it just kind of knocks them back. Wow. Alright, well, let's go see what the merchant has. I've got 6 keys. Like, there's no reason for conservation. Anyway, what do we got here? I really wish it would tell me what these did. Unfortunately, instead it ends up just going straight in my inventory. So, chance to gain a mana globe on killing an enemy. The answer is no. Oh, wait, no. Alchemist Vial. Blinds enemies. Okay, so that's different. That's a heart. And this is armor. Let's see what it does. I really wish there was like a preview system so I knew what I was doing, but instead, I go and pick it up. So what do you do? Reduces damage when hit. So now my agility is much worse. Sort of. Could be worse. Could be better. What are my stats looking like? I have... Whoa, okay. Alright, I'll abide. It does look like my attacks explode, like, substantially more than they did earlier, which kind of works. But yeah, no, more enemy health and damage is fake difficulty, but at the same time, like... Okay, so the reason, just to kind of justify my whole thing about like, just giving me more enemies as kind of difficulty, because I will admit, having more enemies is actual sort of true difficulty, whereas like just scaling enemies up is fake difficulty. So the reason why I say the enemies don't get any harder is I do so much damage at this point that I can one-shot kill most things. So instead of being a challenge, it becomes just a fodder slaughter. I'm gonna coin that term actually, but it becomes purely about slaying as many enemies as possible. Wow. All right, so that AOE thing actually matters way more than I give it credit for, because at this point we're getting so hammered with enemies that being able to AOE groups of enemies down into one, like almost immediately actually makes sense. But, so the thing is, I can one-shot kill everything. So instead of, say, Binding of Isaac, where you kind of have to, like, worry about how the enemies are going to behave, their patterns and stuff like that, my main goal is just kind of circle strafe around them and stuff like that, and murder them as they go along. Also, it turns out we might not be going the wrong way. I really wish the running animation was different, just because it's weirdly slidey, and kind of the backing up feels weird to me. But I like the fact that there are different enemy types, does keep me on my toes a little bit. Oh, interesting, you can open up doors from a distance, didn't even know. Let's see, are the legs turning independently of the torso? Sort of. It, like, glitches out partway through, which is a shame. Alright, and the brother shows up. We're a little bit slower. Note to self, I'm going to put most of my points into agility as we go. Hello. This is not what I was expecting. We have 2 of them now, and they do a lot of damage. I'm also freakishly slow. So what's that do? Okay, so it looks like my right-click stun attack really knocks them around. He's just mashing those orbs at me. Alright, not a big deal. I can just keep knocking the red guy back, no problem. And he does not recover from that either. Oh, hey, I've already killed the blue one. Cool. If only I could even hit the red one. Oh, shit. Do they revive if given enough time? Oh, that is interesting. Yep. Okay, that's the first sign of a unique gameplay mechanic I've run into thus far. And that explains some of how this works. So let's take out Captain Range Man. And then go after the red dude. Yeah, I got it. Alright, so we get Dead's Hand, which is pretty goddamn worthless. Oh, interesting. Wise Mastering goes with increasing experience gain. I don't want to pick it up. Can I not? No. Alright. Well, that's frustrating. I don't want to equip it. This is dumb. So I have to equip it, and then I have to de-equip it. Because Dread's Hand is worthless. In every way, shape, and form. Weird. Alright, so, let's go for agility. Because at this point, we're actually way slower than I'd like to be. But, yeah, no. I gotta say, I like... Oh, hello. I like the environment art. Like, the environments on this game are quite nice, actually. I mean, they are, to me, the main selling point thus far. I really wish the first 3 levels were varied. Like, we get here and it's like, wow, this is different. And I have no idea how that is actually going to change game. Oh, different enemy types, that's for certain. If I can hit them. And this is weird. Yeah, because you actually have to lead your shots for them. Okay, that is bad. You should not have to lead your shots in a twin-stick shooter if you're using the mouse and keyboard, just because it doesn't work well. Oh, okay, they can apparently go through the level. Good. Nope, that one could. All the other ones couldn't. But this is getting... Alright. Oh, is this just constantly spitting enemies at me? Are these not actually giving me experience? They're not. So in that case, I just need to go for these guys and leave everything else alone. So they're just purely projectiles to slow me down. Okay, that makes sense. Do I have anybody else spawning, or is it just that? Okay, works for me. But yeah, it's got a very Torchlight feel to it, which I appreciate, actually. I like the character of the enemy design. The art in this game is quite good. Oh shit, what is that? Oh god, those are lasers. Who the hell is lasering me? I'm not okay with it. Why? Okay, now I do significantly less damage than I did earlier, and I wish I was a lot faster. Wow. Okay, this has changed things a little bit. Okay. So we've taken out the turret. Now for the... Oh, shoot. You can't hit them while they're charging at you. At least the levels are freaking massive. If everything was super close quarters, I'd be kind of grumpy. But yeah, no, I think the easiest point to make about this game is, like, if it had, like, varied gameplay mechanics, I'd be a lot happier with it. That's it. Yep, that's it. I just flipped my microphone. No, flipped my mouse upside down. Hello, Gorgon Braid. Apparently I can turn enemies to stone. How does that work? No idea. All right. Well, turns out I am now. So apparently the way this game handles headgear is, instead of, you know, getting a helmet or anything like that, you get a new updo that apparently turns you into a Medusa. Great. I'm sure that'll go over swimmingly in future relationships. That said, my garden outside is gonna look great. Hello, Temple Shade. You look terrifying. Yeah, the lasers concern me. This game is definitely gonna be very bullet helly. But lasers especially are one of the things that I hate most. One of the reasons, actually, the main reason why I quit Diablo 3 was not, you know, the weird cash grabby system that they had going on. It was purely just I could not deal with the fact that the lasers on Nightmare mode, you know, the second difficulty level, I could not get over the fact that those lasers even existed. It was just not pleasant. So in this case, hopefully you only will ever run into one enemy that shoots lasers at you at a time. Otherwise, I'm going to be a one cranky Wanderbot. Oh, interesting. So I've been stunning... Okay, so those green orbs that come out of my face petrify enemies. Wow. That's not abusable in the slightest. So at this point, our meta build is actually to switch all of our stats over to agility, just so I can petrify the crap out of everything. Hey, you guys ain't coming for me. Wow, this is comical. Okay. I mean, that does actually help a little bit, but, like, he's stuck in a perpetual running animation. I'm not sure when he's coming back. You gonna... Oh. Shit, he's never coming back. Those shots are coming from my, like, little floaty orb thing. I'm just gonna leave him alone for a bit. See if he gets better. You feeling better, dude? Nope. Alright, I have glitched him out. Goodbye. But yeah, no, this feels very, very Torchlight-y, very Diablo-y. I almost wish it actually followed the Torchlight or Diablo style of gameplay instead of being a twin-stick shooter, even though, like, if you're using range attacks, there's not a whole lot of difference. I do like the fact that you use WASD. I think if this game was click to move, I'd go insane and hate it. But, like, if you had multiple weapon types, if you had, like, different attacks you could use, really just that. Like, if this game played exactly like Diablo, but was a procedurally generated death labyrinth, I think I'd be pretty happy with it, actually. But as it stands... Ah, that hurt a little. As it stands, I feel like the overall gameplay is just buff your stats, keep going. But, like, gotta say, the whole petrification thing I got going on here is going to do, you know, wonders for me. But I think in the end, it's going to just make me want to go play Torchlight or Diablo instead of actually want to keep playing this game. But who knows? Maybe you unlock new items. That'd actually be really cool if you unlock, you know, a wildly different staff style. So it's like, alright, all of a sudden you're doing spread shot because, yeah, why not? But seriously, that petrification thing is completely broken and I love it. Anyway. Unfortunately, it does kind of make these knight guys completely worthless in combat against me, because they just get hit by petrification, and then, well, wally do. Seriously, as long as they don't get stuck in the perpetual running animation, though, that is when things get bad. That said, thus far, pretty lucky. I'm noticing that the later on in the game you get, the less HP pickups you get. So there's actually a fairly decent reason for going for some amount of agility. Luckily, I seem to have some extra vigor here, so it's not super bad. Anyway, time to go talk to the merchant. He's probably going to have all sorts of items for me I probably can't use. Anyway, what do you do? Oh, hey. It's my shadow guide again. It works for me. So, I'm actually kind of disappointed, because what that means is there's a set number of items in the game that aren't randomly generated. I was really hoping for a little bit more than that. But yeah, no. I would really like a procedurally death labyrinth, like really just roguelike Diablo. I feel like Diablo's world is kind of boring. And I don't know. I think if it had the oh god, what is he even doing? I don't even know. I don't want to deal with it. Let's just stun him. Luckily, the whole stun thing works out pretty well too, because mine blinds them. Like they can't deal with being blind. Anyway, let's keep going. But yeah, no. There's a lot of potential in games like this, and I'm not sure if this one's going to get there yet. I hope it does. I really do, because if it does, it's going to be nice. But if it doesn't, I don't even know. All right, well, let's see about this boss. They're talking about wombs. That's not weird. And we get to fight that dude, the Ogre Samurai. Oh god, look, holy sh... What the no. What? Oh, that sucks. Alright, let's blind him. Nope, that sucks. Super hard. Well, that just sucks. Goddamn lasers. Fuck lasers. He seems like a great boss fight, but the fact that he managed to do all of my health in one go... Oh, that was actually a fairly good run, and fairly interesting, regardless. Like, I'm gonna keep playing this game. I'm definitely gonna go message the developers and be like, you know what? I want to see how this game develops. I want to see how it goes. But tone down your goddamn Ogre Samurai, because that laser is terrible. Now, unfortunately, this is the only character I can play, and it seems like this is the only weapon style I can use, too. So, we're stuck with Rudy Tooty Gun and Shooty for the time being. And I highly doubt the second character is going to be that much different, which is a shame, but still. Yeah, seriously, the lasers from Diablo 3 have come back to haunt me in the worst possible way. Either way, though, it's not a bad game. I want to see how it goes, but, like, as it stands, if it released this way, I'd say, like, maybe... yeah, I'd probably keep playing it for at least a little while longer, but if it manages to get more features, more weapons, and more, like, attack styles, like, honestly, if I could do, like, Diablo-style, like, talent tree with skills and stuff, oh man, that would be beautiful. But then again, can't promise anything. So, overall impressions, it's good. I want to see where it goes. So, I'll see you guys on the next episode of Blackfaun. And as always, thanks for watching. Fuck lasers.